Hi everyone, welcome to our English Year 3 lesson 16. So we are going to continue on with our imaginative narrative planning for today based on the theme of friendship. So I will be using my mind map from yesterday's lesson to help with today's planning. So make sure that you have yours nice and handy so you can have a look at it if you need. So today we are going to be having a look at our characters, and we're going to be completing a character planning sheet for each of our characters. So yesterday you would have seen that I had two main characters in my story. So I will need to do one of these planning sheets for each of those two characters. So I'm going to focus on the character of Benji for today. So I'm going to put my character name, which I already know. You might not actually get a character name until the end, which is completely fine. You can just leave that bit blank until you come up with one. So, Benji, what are some character traits? So what does the character look like? How old is Benji? So I'm going to say that Benji is a young dog. I'm going to say he is 2 years old, which for a dog is still very young. Okay, what does Benji look like? Benji is black with brown patches. And he has long legs, tail, and ears. Terrific. Okay, so what is Benji's personality? So what is the personality? How does he behave in our story? So I'm going to put that Benji is standoffish. So that means he's a bit unsure. He doesn't know whether he wants to go and be friends with this other animal that he's found or that he's come across in our story, however I decide that that's going to happen. He doesn't know what to think. Maybe Benji could also be protective. He is protective of all the people that he lives with, so he doesn't want to let this wolf get too close to them. But we're going to have that by the end of the story, he is very friendly. Friendly, kind, and playful. At the end. So obviously my characters are each going to go through quite a big change throughout the story, like in our focus text, our example text, Pam and Lily, how we saw Pam have that big change from being such a bully at the start of the story to being quite a nice girl at the end. So I intend that my characters will have that change throughout the story as well. So character relationships. So who are the other characters in this book and how do they behave around this character? So, Benji is, Benji is concerned and does not trust Roger. Okay, but at the end, they are best friends. Okay. Interesting things. So write at least 2 things that are interesting about your character. And I'm actually going to look at my planner there because I've written down that I know Benji loves chasing things. So that's going to be my interesting thing. Loves chasing things. Okay. Another interesting thing is Benji loves sleeping in his kennel. Alright, so they are my 2 interesting things that I have written about Benji. You can go and add more about your character because that will help you when it's time for you to write your story. Now, I'm going to skip doing my sketch because Miss Sexton's not a very good drawer and it would take too long. So I'm actually going to move on to doing my character now of Roger. So I'm going to put this one to the side because I will need that a little bit later. Don't forget, I want to see your pictures though because I know I have some great artists in year 3. Alright, moving on to Roger. Now, Roger. So character traits, what does Roger look like? How old is Roger? Roger is also young. I'm going to put that he is 3 years old. Alright, so Roger is young, 3 years old. He has a thick coat that is black, grey, and white. He has bright blue eyes. Now you can see there I just used a noun group. So instead of just saying he has eyes, I've put he has not just blue eyes, but he has bright blue eyes. So I'd love to see some of those noun groups being used in your writing because they're going to help the reader get more information about the things in your story, and in this case it's our character. Okay, our character's personality. What is the personality of your character? How do they behave? So I'm going to make Roger is very playful. Alright, Roger is very playful. He is fun and sometimes gets himself into trouble. Now I can already, in my head while I'm writing this, I can already see how I'm going to be writing my story when it's time for me to start drafting it. So, which is what you should be doing when you're doing these planning sheets. They should start to form a story in your head. Okay, character relationships. So who are the other characters in the book, or in the story, sorry, and how do they behave around this character? So, Roger, I'm going to put Roger wants to play with Benji. But Benji is unsure. And I'm actually going to go back and add something to Benji because I think it will help benefit my character. But Benji is unsure and can be grumpy. and Shy. I'll put there. So I'm going to go and quickly add those two back onto Benji because I've developed him a bit more. So I'm going to put Grumpy and Shy. Okay, so that sort of feeds into our standoffish part that we had there for Benji as well. So two interesting things about Roger. So I already had that Roger loves playing games. Excellent. I'm going to put Roger is very clever and creates fun games to play. Excellent. Alright, so I have my two apart from my sketch, which I'm going to leave just for today so we can keep moving on. I have my two character planning sheets. I've got my one for Roger and my one for Benji. So now you're going to need to go and do up your own planning sheets for your main characters. So I'd suggest you do no more than 3 main characters. You might choose that you have 2 friends and then there's another person that wants to be friends with these friends. That could be why you have a 3rd, but most stories will probably only have 2. So no more than 3 if that's what you've decided. Don't forget to upload any work. If you've got any questions, get in contact with one of your teachers and we'll be able to help you out. If you can't upload your work to the OneNote, feel free to send it through via email to your teacher so we can give you some feedback for your writing for next week.